There's nothing a retired governor can do about the Soviets, but a president, now he can do a thing or two.
Fantastic performances, guys. Amazing job. This is a story about politics, but a man that happens to be in politics. And it's a fantastic journey and telling of a story. Dennis, first of all, you completely immerse yourself being President Ronald Reagan. I almost forgot at times I was watching Dennis Quaid. I'm so familiar with your work, but from the sound to the look, every nuance, you had it there. How did you prepare for the role of Ronald Reagan? And did you find any particular aspect of his life more challenging to portray?
Well, I had a year to do it. I was offered the role. I didn't say yes, but I did say no. He was my favorite president, and everybody in the world, like Muhammad Ali, everybody knows him. They know Ronald Reagan or think they do. So it took me a while. I went to the Reagan Ranch finally. That's not open to the public, where they lived. And their clothes are still in the closet there. And it's kept it exactly as it was.
Everything's in.
And I could feel that. I could really feel him there, and that was really the beginning of it. And I had a year to prepare. And then there was Penelope here, who basically channeled Nancy Reagan, and so it made my job so much easier.
Yeah, Penelope, I was just going to say, this isn't just a movie about President Reagan. This is also a love story about Ron and Nancy. How did you approach the process of embodying Nancy Reagan, who was resourceful, and what was also the most resourceful help for you in preparing for the role?
The most resourceful help that I got from playing her was reading her autobiography. It's my turn. I learned so much about, and you've talked about this before, is coming, you want to play a part coming from their point of view, not looking at them from the outside or judging them.
Like an impersonation or something. Nobody wants to do that.
And neither one of us wanted to do that. So reading her words, her experiences, her feelings, so she kept a journal during all those years. And even from meeting him and to the end of his life. And actually until he got Alzheimer's, but it was fascinating, and it helped me so immensely because I really wanted to do her justice. I feel like I owe it to her legacy as a living, breathing human being who people knew. I just felt like, I had to honor that. And so I just wanted to be as believable and as real and as authentic as I possibly could be. The wigs and the wardrobe helped a lot. That was another resource that I needed to get down. And playing opposite Dennis, who as you mentioned, true, he embodied Reagan so beautifully and perfectly, and it was so fun to play opposite. We clicked immediately. And it was so important to the movie because that is in essence the heart of the film, is this love story.
Absolutely. There's so much I learned about President Reagan's life throughout the course of this. First of all, he was super witty. He was charming. He was a great speaker. Dennis, what did you learn about Ronald Reagan that you didn't know before taking on this project?
Well, he was a very private man besides being the great communicator. That's what really came to know everybody said. But more than just like learning, it's like it's not a school lesson going to this film. It's about feelings. I go to the movies for what I feel. And people are going to feel
relationships.
Remember, for anybody born after 1985, they'll be able to see what this country used to be like and what it still can be. And before 1985, to go back there, and we forget 90% of people thought we were going to be in a nuclear war in 1980, and very imminent. It was a different time and place, but things are still the same.
It's funny, people say, growing up in the 80s was so much fun. And I hear that all the time. And I think it does bring you back to that life then, if you lived in that time. And so I think it's fun to watch, to see all that, and to go back there and learn, like you said, about who these people were. And that in essence, they were human beings, but what made them become these iconic figures.
I know it's such an interesting insight into a man's life that was the great communicator. I'm so happy I got to watch this film and enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm curious, Ron.
What would you say is the issue of our time?
No question about it. communism and the Soviet Union.